The old school used to tell us that we should only breastfeed every 3 to 4 hours, and that breastfeeding more often than this will cause some kind of harm on the baby's digestion, or it will turn breastfeeding into a pacifier use and whatnot. Well, this proved to be completely incorrect. This school is ineffective and it's outdated. And that's why all the up-to-date breastfeeding organizations and health organizations, they say that we should breastfeed on demand, not on the clock. So there are really three main reasons why breastfeeding on the clock doesn't work. Number one, breast milk digests much faster than cow milk. As you may know, formula is usually made out of cow milk, and cow milk is meant for cow babies. Cow milk has different programming, different composition than human milk, and cow babies indeed will stay 3 to 4 hours between breastfeeding. However, human babies are differently wired and our milk is different composition. It is much lighter, it's much easier to digest, it has less fat, and babies will digest it sooner. So it is now known that a full portion of breast milk will be digested by human baby in only 90 minutes, 1 hour and a half, a full portion. So if baby wants to grow fast, will be ready to wake up after 90 minutes and breastfeed again. And so many babies are not even taking the full portion per feeding. They'll get tired and they'll go for a quick nap to relax, to regain the energy. And then they would wake up and continue. So they may feed more frequently to get the needed amount of milk per 24 hours without being exhausted at each feeding. So one reason is that breast milk digests more rapidly. So it's unrealistic to expect breastfed babies to stay 3-4 hours comfortably between the breastfeeding sessions. Number two reason is that breastfeeding satisfies many needs of the child. It's not only for hunger. Breastfeeding also satisfies the needs of security, relaxation, going to sleep, feeling comfort, feeling loved, feeling mother's heartbeat and breathing and her body temperature. When baby feels too warm or too cold, we'll want to breastfeed to stabilize his body temperature with mom. When the child is in pain, our milk has natural painkillers. So if baby had some gases, some discomfort from teething, baby will want to go to the breast and feel better immediately. Breastfeeding is so much more than feeding alone, and our baby will come to the breast more often than he will need the breast for feeding. And all the needs of the child are important, as equal important as the need of hunger and eating. So we cannot time it, we cannot schedule when the baby will need to feel some love and some connection and when he may need our breast for going to sleep because baby is overstimulated. Baby has to signal it to us and we have to follow because baby knows best. And finally, the third reason is that we can never really know how much the baby is eating at the breast because breast is not transparent. There are no milliliter signs on our breast, so we don't see how the milk is going down and how much the baby is taking. And we cannot lift up our breast to the light and see how much milk is left after the feeding. So we have to trust the child. If he is waking up and wants to eat, then he has a reason for it. Maybe he's hungry, maybe he needs it for another reason, but he needs it. We cannot tell him that, you're all done now for the next 3 hours. You know, the old school used to say that every 3 to 4 hours, so let's say 3 hours, baby ate at 9 a.m., and then mom will say, all right, now till 12 o'clock, no breastfeeding. And baby may want to nurse. Of course we'll want. We expect human babies to feed more frequently than every 3-4 hours. So that child is going to wake up and is going to start crying and signaling to mom that he wants to eat. And mom will be distracting and rocking and carrying, saying, no, 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 you should not feed till 12 o'clock. And then baby is crying, baby is losing energy, baby is burning calories. Eventually 12 o'clock will come. And then mom will put the baby on the breast and baby is now exhausted. So he'll see mom, he'll see that, oh, mommy is finally here, her milk, her breast, her warmth, so good. And he falls asleep because he's so tired and finally he got what he wanted, but he's too tired. So he will fall asleep, he will have a little nap, he'll wake up 15 minutes later saying, okay, I'm ready now. He'll start signaling to mom, please breastfeed me. I want to nurse, now I can. And mom will say, no, 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 we are all done till 3 o'clock now. You finished your 12 o'clock feeding, now till 3 p.m., no feeding. And baby again goes through crying, losing energy, losing weight, burning calories, getting frustrated. And mom at that time is losing her milk production because when we don't stimulate our breasts frequently enough, the receptors are not well established and the milk goes away. And as you may remember from the video on should we wake up the baby or not, if the newborn baby is stretching over 4 hours of sleeping in the first 2 to 3 weeks after birth, our milk goes back to blood and lactation decreases. While in the first 2 to 3 weeks, we should be only increasing it. So this is jeopardizing our whole breastfeeding journey. If we are stretching the baby over 3-4 hours, making the baby wait for the feeding. So we are suffering, we are losing our milk production, the baby is suffering, and the baby is losing weight. And soon enough, mom takes the baby for the weight check at the pediatrician and sees that the baby is not growing well, her supply is now way below, and the doctor says, well, your breastfeeding is not working, you gotta start supplementing, you need to do something. And that's a lot of stress, and many moms will not reach out for help in breastfeeding and they'll just go for the bottle, they go for formula, and this will be such a big loss for the whole journey in parenting and for the health of the baby and the mom when they start losing their breastfeeding journey. So breastfeeding works best on demand, and you pick up any reliable source of information just like this book, Womanly Art of Breastfeeding by La Leche League International, and you find lots of interesting information explaining why we should follow the baby to breastfeed on demand and not the clock.